be here. I hear you guys had a little snow this winter. How nice to be here on the Heights on an absolutely gorgeous day. Not only that, the Red Sox are 4-1 and they've beaten the Yankees 2 nights in a row. Basically all is right with the world except for the fact that it's kind of overheating and going, if not to hell, then to a place of a similar temperature. And that's why it is so good to see everybody here today. All I want to tell you, my only, introduction is very nice, but in fact it's over nice. My only job in all of this is a kind of cross-pollinator, to just be out talking to people all over the place and spreading the word. And so I just wanted to give you guys some sense of how many other people lined up with you all over the place. Now you heard from those excellent women from Yale, and what a galvanizing Woodbridge Hall, it was a wonderful moment, and at just the same moment, there's students sitting in at the University of Mary Washington in Virginia. Okay, it's not a famous school, but they've been there for 2 weeks almost now, and it's amazing. For 3 weeks, I was just down in Pennsylvania, where students have been camped out in the president's office at Swarthmore for 3 weeks now. In the next few days, there'll be things going on at campuses all over Boston. And I was just in New Orleans over the weekend, where kids at Tulane are ready to rock. They had 71 kids for a civil disobedience training night before last. It's not just, of course, the divestment movement. You're all part of this much broader fight. So, I was just talking on the phone with the friends of ours at Greenpeace who have been occupying this oil rig headed for the Arctic. Shell. I mean, if BC invests in Shell, think about it. BC is investing in a company that watched climate change melt the Arctic, and instead of saying, maybe we should do something else, instead they lined up for a license to go drill for more oil in those melted waters. That comes as close to defining corporate irresponsibility as it is possible to get. I don't know, Julia, you're the great economist, but does that count? Does that strike you as high on the list of when they write the kind of list of corporate irresponsibility kind of Hall of Fame someday, that will get a plaque, and that's why we got to do what we do. People everywhere are rallying. Yesterday in Quebec, there was the largest Canadian climate rally yet. I just got off the phone with Naomi Klein, who's in Canada, and who sends you all her love and thanks. The good news is that it is working. The message that we all set out to start spreading when we started this divestment stuff a few years ago has spread far and wide. That the fossil fuel industry has 5 times as much carbon in its reserves as any scientist thinks we can safely burn. That because of that, these are no longer to be considered normal companies. They're rogue companies. And being engaged with them at this point in human history is not okay. That message is spread across college campuses, but it's also spread everywhere else. The World Bank, the International Energy Agency, the governor of the Bank of England said last week that we were going to have to keep most of our energy in the ground. Your voices are being heard everywhere that it counts. And those voices are getting louder all the time, and as Bob and Juliet and others have said, they're getting joined by a particularly loud voice from Rome, which is going to help an awful lot. It was a great moment last summer when the University of Dayton, one of the biggest Catholic research institutions in this country, announced that it was divesting. And what was amazing was they did it with very little pressure from students or anybody else. Their board of trustees just said, these investments are not compatible with our Catholic social values. We have to do this. And there went their $685 million endowment out of fossil fuel. It would not surprise me if we saw something brave out of Georgetown later this year, because students there have been pushing really hard, and they've been meeting with a good reception from the administration. All of this matters so much. It seems at each particular moment, each particular day, each particular place like something small, but it is swelling into something very, very large all over the world. This is the movement of our time, and you guys are right at the front of it, and we could not be more grateful, and it could not be more fun than to be just shoulder to shoulder with you all. Thank you so much. Go Eagles!